Welcome to Epic Flail. This is the best Warmachine product I've ever got my hands on. And I don't say that lightly because I've got my hands on many, many Warmachine products over the years. The main reason why I think this is my favourite Warmachine product is one thing that's always been quite frustrating over the years of playing Warmachine is the kits and putting the models together. Now, there is a part of me that loves a big, weighty metal model, and I have fond memories of just getting full metal armies on the table and the jokes that would go around about putting a bronze back in a sock and that basically being a weapon that could change yours and everybody around you's life. But the fact is they were very frustrating to put together. You'd often have to pin them, you'd use so much green stuff. It was just such a mission to put models together versus other companies where the kits could actually be something that you enjoy and you spend a lot of time doing. This Warmachine set gave me so much joy putting it together. I would say that the kit and the quality of the plastic and just how clear it was to assemble these kits was the best kit I've ever put together. And I've played all the games. So that was a big, big, big win for me putting this together. The models themselves, I'll talk about what you get in the box in a second, and we'll go into a little bit more detail as to why you might want to think about getting this set. The models themselves are great. There's some really cool sculpts. Luke and I have kind of put out some of the models that we put together from the kit and our favourites. The two heavy war beasts in particular are just great. They're so Warmachine-esque. The aesthetics of Warmachine have always been very chunky, big boys, big jacks, big beasts. And when I've shown people these kits, I think that's really cut through. They're like, man, there's some real kind of like chunk to these models, which is nice. And they're all unique. Every single one of the sculpts is unique, the units included, and they all look really, really cool. The Chimera particularly has reminded me of my fond memories playing Legion. I was just saying to Luke earlier, I do have a Dusk Army. I'm very happy with my Dusk Army, but I think I might have to start collecting some Chimera as well. So yeah, this is a really good quality product from Steamforged in terms of the plastic quality and the kits. You don't get a lot in the box. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit more detail. So what you get in the box is you get two 30-point cadres. Have I said that right, Luke? With a French flair. A cadre. Was that French? Wasn't French, or was it? Yeah, there's a Foulblood's cadre and a Shard Nocturnus cadre, which is Chimera, and then your troll boys, your pirate trolls. They're 30 points. The point of this box, I guess this box actually ticks a number of boxes. The point of it is you can pick it up, you can start playing Warmachine with a mate, you can assemble the models, and you can get some 30-point games in. The show that Nick and I did recently, we talked in a little bit of detail about the different points levels at Warmachine. 30 points, 50 points, 75 points, 100 points. What you're going to get at a 35-point level is you're going to get a taste of the mechanics and the core rules. You're not going to get, at that points level, you're not going to get, it's very likely you're going to get like a perfectly balanced game. You're going to get a taster of what Warmachine's all about. Big warjacks and war beasts slamming into each other, units flying around the table, warcasters pulling tricks and maneuvers and creating synergies, and that constant threat of like, don't lose your caster. Your caster's the most important thing in the game. You're going to feel that mechanic and you're going to get some of that. That's what 30 points it gives you. As you start to increase that up to your 50s, your 75, your 100s, you start to get, it's like you zoom out and start to see that broader depth of strategy that exists in Warmachine. But this is going to be aimed at people just getting the box with a mate, giving it a go and trying it out. You could call it a starter set, but at the same time, if you just play one of these factions, you're not a new player, you could just pick it up and start playing with the models. So what you get in the set is you get the models, and you get this single sheet, and that is it. Now, the logic behind the single sheet is actually quite simple. Some people come to Warmachine and check out Warmachine, and they go, where are the rule books? All there is in this is the models and the sheet. Where are the rule books? I want the rule books. The rules are free. You don't want a rule book in this set. If Steamforged printed a rule book and put it in this set, they've just made it more expensive. You don't need a rule book. It's free. It's on the app. All you need to do is get the QR code and download the app. And there's the rules. So you've got two options when it comes to building starter sets. You can either get all the models in there, which is this is the reason why you buy the set. You want the models. You want to put the models together. You want to paint them. You want to play them at the table. You either stop there and go, right, you've got the thing. that you really wanted, which is the models, and the rest is free online. And those additional accessories that you need, it's a tape measure and dice, which, I mean, who doesn't have a tape measure and who can't get dice? They're both very, very easy to get. You don't need to add, you don't really need to add those in. Everybody's got a tape measure and a dice. And then terrain, but like, you know, it gets very expensive when you start putting terrain sets in sets like this. So for me, I like this because it keeps it lean, it keeps it affordable. And for me, that someone, like I'm not a new, technically I've just started playing again, so I'm a new player, but I just want the models. I just want the models and I want to get on the table and I want to start enjoying the game. So I think it's quite smart from Steamforged because it's a product that's pitched at everybody, whether you're a new player or an existing player, and it's not bloated with additional stuff that you don't actually need, which might be nice for some people, but you're just cranking up the price. People that are new to Warmachine, one of the beautiful things about the game is the fact that you can just download the app, Warmachine, what used to be called War Room, and everything's on there that you need. Not only are all the rules on there that you need to start playing, but every single model of every single army that is released is also in the app. So there's no paywall for any rules in this game. You don't need to, if you're playing a friend and they're playing a different faction, you don't need to scroll the internet on, you know, dodgy sites that companies don't like that have illegally put rules up to save you buying a book that costs 20 quid. You just go on the app and just read the rules for free, which means that when you get to the table, you don't have to spend half the game going, what does that do again? And what's the rule for that thing? You just look, I'll just look myself. So I really like that. Some people might be surprised when they open it and go, where's everything else? But there is logic in that. What we can't talk about in this video is the rules. We are going to talk about the rules at some point in the future. So we're just talking about the kits and what you get in the box, but there will be an episode that we're going to do when we get into the rules and we talk about that, because I'm really, really excited to get into how some of these models work and talk about the rules. So do stay tuned for that. If you enjoy Warmachine content, then do make sure you like and subscribe and stick with the channel, because we've got lots to come. But I think it's really smart from Warmachine. I think the price point is good. In fact, there are companies putting a chunky discount on this, and I'm not going to start plugging shops, but there are a bunch of shops that are putting really punchy discounts on this and starting to distribute. So if you're looking at Warmachine and you want to learn more, just get Googling, get shopping online, because there are lots of suppliers now in the UK who are starting to stock this product and ship it. One thing, just as a closing thought, I guess a dilemma that Steamforged are going to have and the Warmachine community is going to have is, I think these kits are so good. Like I would be absolutely delighted if this Hips plastic was the only thing that Steamforged ever made Warmachine models in. I just think it's brilliant. I think the quality is really good. There's a weight to it that I really like. The way they're assembled is brilliant. However, not all Warmachine kits are like this. The starter set is like this. This army box is like this. This kind of 2-player set is like this. But a lot of the stuff that you order online it'll be a print and it'll be different. And as we know, one of the things we talked about in other shows, a really cool thing about Warmachine is when you buy the War Beast and you buy the Jacks, you don't have to buy multiples of those models because they supply you with all the weapon combinations and you magnetize them. So you buy one Warmachine Jack and it's got all the possible loadouts for that model. You don't have to go, oh, I've got to buy 3 versions of this Jack just so I can put a different weapon on. Nope, it's all included in that set, which is brilliant. But could that lend itself to these plastic kits? Could there be a world where Steamforged make these kits with interchangeable parts and magnets? Who knows? I'm interested in how Steamforged roll this out, because I can't help but feel this is the best quality kit I've ever seen the company produce, both in terms of the sculpts, how it's put together. It's hard to explain, but like just the precision by which it's put together and the clarity by which you know what piece goes away. It is a delight. It's really enjoyable. So I think that's a good thing for us to come back on and look at. Maybe we'll speak to Steamforged and get some insights as to how they're going to roll out the products, because I would love to see more of this. But we're going to be back doing another show where we talk about the rules in a bit more detail. I know we've been getting up some shots of the models that we've put out on the table. We're going to paint them up and we're going to do some games. So, you know, you will see more of these models bouncing around on Flail. You see us doing more Warmachine content. But let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you think it's a good set? Are you happy with it? Do you like the models? Are you excited about the rules? Do you think the rules are going to be good? I'm excited about talking about the rules. Cool. Thanks, folks. Cheers for watching the show. Luke, thank you, my friend, for in the background producing the show. We'll see you next time. Like and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, enjoy your games of Warmachine out there, folks.